2nd of January, Rabbi Levitt, Pele, Yoetz.
Okay, well, good morning to Lou and to Roy.
Good
Glad
morning.
you joined us this morning.
Morning, Roy.
Good morning, each of you.
Good morning, Roy.
Good to see you.
Yes.
Well, yes, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Feast your eyes. All this has been recorded. Oh, dear me.
There's no doubt about it that it's always good to see Roy in the morning.
Oh,
Okay, so Alan is coming. Okay, we'll keep our eyes out. So in any case, we moved on. The committee over here decided that we're going to move on to the next subject, and so the next subject is Asila Adam Shiyiftach Piv L'Satan. Literally, what that means is that it's forbidden for a person to open his mouth to the Satan. In the translation, he's translated as it's prohibited for a person to reference Satan.
But that's not the way it's used in practice. That's not the way the phrase is used in practice. In practice, when you say Al Tiftach Pele L'Satan, means don't bring troubles upon yourself. Don't talk about things like that, because if you talk about them, they'll happen.
Right. So this is. Let me just bring back what we learned in the last sefer over here from the Beis Halevi Mimer. I'll be talking. Too bad Alan's not here, because he would appreciate the fact that we're going back to this sefer that he suggested that we learn. This was the very first thing that the Beis Halevi said over here. Not having be talking in Hashem, being fearful instead is itself the cause of downfall. He says this sin of not having be talking in Hashem causes him to fall, to come to harm, like we see in the pasuk in Mishlei 29:25. Cherdas Adam yitain mokesh. A person's harada, his fear, yitain mokesh, will place a snare. And the Beis Halevi says, when a person trembles in fear of something, rather than saying, I'm Boteach in Hashem, Hashem loves me, Hashem is watching me, Hashem is he's protecting me. If a person does not zoom in to Hashem's good, and he's in fear of something, Zeu atzmo gorem lo sheyinosin lefon of mokesh. This itself causes a snare. Shelo haya klal mikodem. Also davar that was not really even existing previously, to be placed in front of him regarding that very matter that he feared. So that's the fallout from fear. And so if you want to say that that's what it means over here, that exactly works very good, because he says right after that, he says a person shouldn't do that, even if he's in a very serious situation. He's in a life and death situation. Al yisyayesh min harachamim. A person should never give up hope of finding Hashem's rachamim over him. V'daber tov. He should rather speak tov. He should speak good, meaning that he should speak words of optimism. V'yavo tov. And in the merit of speaking those words, yavo tov, tov will come. So that's what he says over here. And then for some reason I don't know why, he throws in here about speaking in the Beis HaKisei. What that has to do with Al Yiftach Piv L'Satan, I do not know.
My English says likewise.
Yeah, that's what it says in the Hebrew too. V'chein. Like
But
they're whenever it
But
says
what's the
v'chein,
connection?
these two things are connected. These two things are connected. Yeah. What's the connection?
I don't really get why having a sharp sword on his neck, etc. What's the hava amina that in that case you would say something bad?
You're giving up hope. You shouldn't give up hope, even in cases like that. You shouldn't give up hope that Hashem will have mercy upon you and save you. It shouldn't be it shouldn't be woe is me, woe is me. It should be I have faith in Hashem. I have faith in Hashem.
It's quite possible that the saving might be that it is your time to leave this world, because if you don't, you're going to get into trouble, awful trouble. And if you do, if Hashem takes you to himself, then you've got it made in Ha'olam Haba.
No, person's not supposed to say this is my time, and he should always say there's always hope. Like Eliezer says, there's always hope.
Mm-hmm.
There's always hope. He should say that there always is hope, because really there is. There is. And he says more than that. It's not simply a device for maintaining one's peace of mind and being calm, because of course that's one of the benefits of bitachon as well. One of the main benefits of it. But he says, in the merit of saying this, you don't have to say it to somebody else. You could say it to yourself. You're also somebody.
Mhm.
I've got Alan on
you
the
say it to
phone.
yourself.
He says he can't get in. Do you see him trying to get in, Rabbi?
No, I think he's got the wrong. Is he using your link? I don't see him here.
I'm going to email you a link and see if it's different from what you have. I'll email it to you right now. Hey, sorry for the interruption.
Okay, Tiskala Mitzvahs. Who's always concerned that everybody should be here. Very good. So that thoughts, or that saying it even to yourself, will is itself a merit, a tremendous merit. especially in a situation like that, to feel and express that bitachon in Hashem, that even from this situation, Hashem could save me. That merit is so great that he did that. That may very well be in the merit of that, Hashem could bring him out. V'yavo tov, says the Pele Yoetz. Good will come from thinking good. It's true, those little things that you stick on your refrigerator. It says takshov tov v'yeh tov. Think good and it will be good. They're absolutely right. They're absolutely right. And the way we think of it, it's bitachon. It's bitachon in Hashem. It's not just optimism. The person will say, "Oh, you're an optimist, but I'm a realist." Yes, I'm a realist. I look at things with reality. Yes, you're just a dreamer. No, you're not a dreamer. You believe in Hashem. You believe in the goodness of Hashem, the total ability of Hashem. Hashem could do anything. There's no such thing as teva. Hashem could rescue a person from any situation that he's in. And there's a mitzvah for the person to have bitachon in Hashem, even in that situation. And that's exactly what he's saying over here, the Pele Yoetz. That's what he means when he says al yiftach piv l'satan, just like Eliezer explained. Yiftach piv l'satan means to say, oh, the bad forces are going to get me now. It's a bad situation. I'm in trouble now. Chas v'sholom, to think that. There's no bad forces that have any power over you whatsoever. The only power in the world is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Even the Satan works for Hashem.
So why do we have statements like, don't walk on the middle of the street at night because a demon might get you?
That's for people without bitachon. If you don't have bitachon, then you should be, you have to be, and you believe in these things. So,
But it's in the Gemara.
Right. It's for people that there are such things, and it's also in the Gemara. It's also in the Gemara that there was a snake, and Rabbi Hanina ben Dosa just put his foot on it, and he said the snake doesn't have any ability to do anything to me. The only thing that has any ability to do anything to me is sin. So take your pick. You want to go in the way of Reb Hanina ben Dosa, or you want to go in the other way? You got a choice. Hashem gives you a choice.
So should I ignore that
Free world.
Gemara that says don't walk in the middle of the street in the night? Should I ignore that and say, well, I have bitachon, so that's irrelevant to me?
I think
You have to have bitachon. Have it, and then you won't have to. Then you can do it. But it's you really have to have it. If you don't have it, and you believe in the forces of evil and all this type of stuff, and you think that they have power over you, so then you got to be realistic.
well, I think in general,
You can't fool around with it.
I think in general that you shouldn't, we know that you shouldn't put yourself in a makom of sakana if you don't have to. And but if you have bitachon and you end up in a makom sakana that you can't avoid, then it's
Okay.
your bitachon is going to help you through it. You shouldn't
Right.
you shouldn't go out, running in the middle of the street, in the middle of the highway when there's cars racing back and forth just because you feel like doing it. Says, I have been talking to Hashem and nothing's going to happen to me. But if if you have your bitachon in a serious situation comes up and you say, I need to do this because I need to save somebody, then you have then it should be talking to Hashem that helps you get through it. And I don't think they're contradictory.
Okay. Right. You have to, there's, just actually heard, there is a, this maybe is a good time to say over this from the Mesilas Yesharim. Mesilas Yesharim, I have to get my other booklet now. It'll just be 1 minute. Let me just get this booklet. I think it's important to say this.
Mhm.
Good morning, Alan.
Morning. So Alan, you should save that link. That's the new link.
Okay,
Get rid of the old one.
as of when?
As of last week.
That's what I used it. Okay, maybe it's not.
Oh. Okay. Wow, I wrote this down very, very sketchy. So you have to. Okay. So any case, okay, there was a question that was put to the hotline last week. There's a Mesilas Yesharim that says that in reference to a what yeah, wow, this is very, very sketchy. Okay. I guess we're talking about a situation. I don't know if it's a dangerous situation or it's a certain situation. And he gives two reasons. He gives two reasons why how to deal with the situation, and maybe the person was injured, and so he says one reason was because of the teva of the situation, and the other reason was he's getting punished for his averas. So they called up the hotline and they said, 1 second, what's the Mesilas Yesharim over here talking about teva? You saying that there's no such thing as teva? What's the Mesilas Yesharim is talking about teva? So he said, the answer to this question is that I called up Rabbi Yisrael Falk, the Rosh Yeshiva of Beis Medrash Elyon, with this question, and he said to me that there is a Rabbeinu Nisim Gaon from the Tekufas HaGaonim, even before the Rishonim, even before the Ramban, and he says in his Hakdama, in his introduction to Maseches Brachos, which is the first Masechta in Shas, and he says that Klal Yisrael has mitzvahs, and they have mitzvahs that Hashem gave them. He told them to do this mitzvah, and that mitzvah, and the other mitzvah. And there's also a mitzvah, he says, that the seichel tells a person that this is what seichel demands one to do, such as don't walk on a red light in a busy highway. That would be an example of something that seichel tells a person to do, or actually to not do. Stand there at the stoplight and don't go until it's green. And even when it's green, look both ways before you go. The seichel tells us this. And so you know what? If that's what the seichel tells you, who gave you the seichel? Kadosh Baruch Hu gave you the seichel. If a Kadosh Baruch Hu put that idea in your head, and that comes from your seichel, so that, says the Rabbeinu Nissim Gaon, that becomes a mitzvah. It's a mitzvah to listen to your seichel. So now you have a command, and that command is a binding command. And really what the seichel is telling you is that it is not Ratzon Hashem. It's not the will of Hashem that you should go into that situation over there. So what's the accomplishment of Rabbeinu Nissim Gaon over here? We're using the Rabbeinu Nissim Gaon to explain what the Mesilas Yesharim means when he says teva. What he means to say is that the seichel examines the situation that Hashem presented. We'll call it teva. And the seichel says that this is a situation not to get involved with. So now what that means is what Hashem is telling you. Don't get involved in that situation. And so therefore, if one gets injured in a situation like that, then one can say that it wasn't the teva of the situation which damaged him. It was the fact that he did not follow the Ratzon Hashem. It's because Hashem is telling him through his seichel not to get involved in that situation. So therefore, it's exactly what the Ramban says in this week's parsha. At the end of it's going to be the parsha after the next parsha. No, actually it is. Okay, sorry about all this confusion. It is the Ramban. It's a famous Ramban in the end of Parshas Bo, which is the that's where we're starting today. Yom Rishon is the first day of Parshas Bo. The Ramban says over there is no teva. Everything is skar va'onish. Everything is nisim. So you could call it whatever you want. Call it teva. Call it this. Call it that. But what the Mesilas Yesharim it means is that really to listen to the seichel is a mitzvah, and therefore the danger is not the teva. The danger is not listening to the seichel, which is the Ratzon Hashem that one listens to the seichel. That's how he explained it. And additionally, we had the statement of Yaakov Avinu, when Yaakov Avinu said, "Kantonti mikol chasadim," I have been made small from all of the chesed that Hashem has done for me. And the Gemara in Brachos said that when a person puts himself in a makom of sakana, it could remove some of his merits. So Rabbi Falk explained in this statement of Yaakov Avinu, according to the Gemara in Brachos, in this same fashion, that the seichel was saying not to be involved in that situation because it's not the Ratzon Hashem. So therefore, it's an aveira, and that itself, the aveira, is what causes the lessening of the merits. It's not the okay. So
I'm trying to understand how you're applying this to Yaakov. He wasn't putting himself into a situation. The situation was coming upon him against his will.
Yeah, okay, let's see if we could argue, let's say we could answer this, on standing on one foot. Yaakov Avinu did not put himself in any sakana.
But that's not true. Okay. Through his early actions, the fact that he was lording his dreams over his brothers.
No,
Put him-
that's Yosef, not Yaakov.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Talking about Yaakov.
Sorry. Gotta keep my stories straight.
I believe that Yaakov, in that same prayer,
This is what the Gemara says, though. You're asking a question on the Gemara. You're not asking a question on anything that we said. That's what the Gemara says.
right. But I do believe that Yaakov says that he's afraid that he has sinned. I always assumed that meant he was afraid that he sinned when he was with Lavan. But I never thought that it meant that he's sinning now by being in this situation.
No, there's actually the Chazal say that that Yaakov said to Rashi brings it in the Chumash that when Yaakov said to Esav, I lived with Lavan, and he says I lived with Lavan, and I kept all the 613 mitzvahs, and I didn't learn from his evil ways.
Right.
But Yaakov announces to Esav, so to speak, I'm clean. Like, don't fool around with me.
Right.
We're not told of any sin that Yaakov did while he was living with Lavan. There is something that I'm thinking right now. The Gemara talks about the fact that Yosef was taken away from Yaakov, and he was not, and Yaakov didn't know where he was for many years. And the Gemara makes a cheshbon that he was away from
From Yitzchak. When he was with
Right.
Shem and Aver,
He was
when
away.
he was learning in yeshiva, those are the time he was spent in yeshiva is the same amount of time Yosef was in Mitzrayim.
No, it's the
No.
exact opposite. It's exact opposite. What the Gemara, you're reminding what the Gemara does say. The Gemara says that for the time that he was learning in yeshiva, he wasn't punished with those years. He was punished for the years that he was by Lavan. The number of years that he was by Lavan corresponds to the number of years that Yosef was not with Yaakov.
22 years.
22 years? Okay. So 22 years. So he was, that's the only thing that we're told about Yaakov's time when he was with Lavan, that perhaps there was something remiss in him being there so long. Why he didn't leave? But okay, so in any case, where are we? We were talking about the we have to be concerned about demons that are lurking around at night? Should we go out? Okay, so that's there. So there, in other words, there is a way, according to Rabbeinu Nissim Gaon, that we are taking into consideration, quote unquote, what the teva is, but we're saying that there's a mitzvah to listen to the seichel, which looks at the teva.
But this is
And-
not
and
seichel.
harms-
This is listening to the Gemara, because seichel tells me that there's no such thing as demons.
No, well, if the Gemara tells me that there is, so then the seichel is wrong about that.
Right, but I'm saying it's not a matter of
Why does the seichel say that there's no such thing? Because it can't see it. That's
Right.
not seichel. That's not seichel.
My seichel tells
not-
me if it's nighttime and I go out in front of my house, my seichel doesn't tell me there's a danger from me walking in the street or walking on the sidewalk or one way or the other. It's not my seichel that tells me that. It's my bitachon in the Gemara.
Okay, so we're talking here about seichel, which is in line with everything what it says in the Torah. We're not talking about Greek wisdom that says, oh, if I can't see it, so then it doesn't exist. Right?
So you're saying seichel tells me that I should be afraid of demons?
Seichel does not say to be afraid of them. Seichel says that don't say that they don't exist just because I can't see them. That's not seichel. That's Greek wisdom. That's not seichel. Greek wisdom says, oh, I don't see it anywhere. Must be, it doesn't exist. That's Greek wisdom. We don't believe in that. Seichel does not contradict what the Gemara says. Everything that the Gemara says is seichel dik. The Gemara is revealing to us that there is such a thing.
So the Gemara says that there's demons. And I decide that I'm going to ignore that. Therefore, I am sinning, and therefore I'm going to get hurt. Is that true?
That's the way it works, right? That's right. Well, we could say like this. One thing we all have to understand: does Hashem deal with all of us with midas adin all the time? How much din do we actually have, and how much rachamim do we actually have? We have about 3 billion times as much rachamim as we have din. So Hashem is protecting us and watching over us and cutting us slack, and even though we don't really deserve it. So it's not really seichel dik to say that if I don't regard what the Gemara says about demons, then I'm definitely going to get it because of that. No, that's not seichel dik. Because seichel also takes into consideration the fact that Hashem's chesed is boundless. That's also a part of seichel. Again, Seichel does not mean Greek wisdom. Seichel means the seichel that the Torah tells us to have.
If I walk against the red light, it does not occur to me in my wildest imagination that Hashem's mercy is going to protect me and I'm not going to get run over by a car.
So then don't do it. Your
But
seichel says
But if
don't
I
do it.
walk in the middle of the street at night, then what you just said is that Hashem's mercy is going to protect me and the demon's not going to get me.
So, okay. What's the problem?
Doesn't seem consistent. My seichel tells me that this is not correct.
maybe your seichel is not correct.
That could be, but what I'm learning here is that I should follow my seichel. I'm trying to understand what we're talking about when we say seichel and we apply different rules in different situations.
No, you're saying that if I do not believe in demons and I disregard what the Gemara says that there's demons, then I'm going to get punished. I'm saying no, that's not so.
But if I
Definitely gonna get
disregard,
punished.
if I disregard the light, I am going to get punished.
How do you know?
I don't. My seichel tells me that if I walk across the street against a red light, when there's a bunch of cars coming, I'm going to get hit by a car.
Who says
Test
so?
that theory out.
I've seen people crossing the road and cars stopping because of that, crossing the road against a red light.
So that was Hashem's mercy?
It's not the car that has any power over you. It's not listening to the seichel, which is the Ratzon Hashem to listen to the seichel, that has the potential of danger. The only thing that we're saying in regard to the demons is that we object to this idea that, oh, if I don't even, I'm proving to you that I don't believe in them and nothing's going to happen anyway. In spite of the fact that I violated the Ratzon Hashem. That doesn't prove anything. And all that proves is that Hashem's chesed is boundless. That's all it proves. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's go to the next subject. Asalitain shalom la'adam ra. Mayor, would you like to start off reading this 3-line paragraph?
Okay. Mike's on. Okay.
Oh, we're back in the English.
Yes. It is prohibited to greet an evil man. If it is necessary because of the ways of peace, then a man should intend that he is greeting God, as it is written in Shmuel Aleph. And you will say, to life and unto peace. That was a message sent from David HaMelech to Naval.
Who was Naval? I've forgotten. Did I know?
That was the first husband of Abigail.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah.
And he didn't, David appealed to him to, when he was in danger, to assist him. And he, not only did he not assist him, but he denigrated David. So the Pele Yoetz is saying over here, he's learning out from what David HaMelech said to Naval, that if it's necessary to greet a evil person, so you should do it in the way that David HaMelech did when he sent a message to Naval to ask for assistance. I'm not sure whether that was the same communication that he had when he was asking for assistance. Have to look up the pasuk in Shmuel, but nevertheless, that's the idea. He should intend that he is giving a greeting to Hashem. And as it is written in Shmuel. V'amartem kol l'chai, v'ata shalom. So who is Shalom? Who's the Melech Shah Shalom Shalom? That's HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He's the one that has Shalom. He's the one that has completion and perfection. So that was the intention that David HaMelech was when he was saying the Atah Shalom. He was on one level he was making a communication to Naval, but on the other hand he was speaking to Hashem. And so generally that's the way it is today, for sure, that because of the ways of peace, because of Darkei Shalom, it will be necessary to greet a Russia. So that's what is done. So I guess he's inferring from the fact that that David spoke to him in this way. You could see that that David was not speaking to him directly. So we understand from that if it wouldn't be for the situation that he was in, then David wouldn't have wouldn't have given him salutations of peace. It's interesting, I guess, because the Gemara says about one of the Amoraim, I think it was maybe Rabbi Yochanan, that he used to greet every person. He was the one to greet everyone in the marketplace. So maybe Rabbi Yochanan held that it was always an issue of peace, to live in peace, that he would do that.
So I heard a quote from Rabbi Teller, quoting the Maggid of Mizrach, that I seek to treat the Russia as I would treat my own son. So
Wow.
I went up to Rabbi Teller after the talk, and I asked him. I said, but I thought it's a mitzvah to hate a Rasha. And he said it's a madrega.
Oh, okay. So that's something else. That's something else. When we talk about hating a Russia, it has to be l'shem shemayim. It has to be because one objects to the fact that he doesn't serve Hashem. And Tosas already in the Gemara says that based upon a pasuk in the Chumash, the pasuk says that when you have well, over there that doesn't say the person is an evil person. It just says the person is somebody that you like. You got two people that need assistance. Person that you know and you like, and a person that you know and you dislike very much. So the pasuk says go and the person that has that you like, he has an animal that is suffering right now with a heavy load, and the person that you do not like at all, he's got an animal that doesn't have any load on it at all. And the Gemara says you should forsake the person that you like and his animal that's suffering, and rather go and help the one that you don't like load his animal. And Tosas says, well, what happened to Tosas understands that the person is not he's somebody who there would be a mitzvah to dislike because he does averas. And Tosas says, nevertheless, that the point over here is that yeah, you could say to yourself, yes, I'm not helping him because he does averas, but if one continues to do that, then Tosas says that person is gonna return your hatred with hatred, and then it's gonna come out that you're gonna hate him because you hate him, not because of the fact that he does averas, because he hates you, so therefore you hate him. So Tosas says you shouldn't get into all of that. Therefore, you should help him. So in other words, 100%, it's a madrega. It's a madrega to hate someone that does averas, and it's not really something that Tosas already says one shouldn't involve himself with all of that.
We all do Averas.
Unfortunately, it's 11:34.
Okay,
All right.
now we won't be doing any more averas.
Don't you believe it?
We'll go on to the next subject.